WrestleMania 34. What did I think of it? Well, actually, I'm very disappointed. I feel like this is being one of the most disappointing WrestleManias in a long time. Like, even a lot of people would say probably someone like WrestleMania 32. I actually thought that was quite alright, apart from the main event. But this is a very disappointing WrestleMania, and I'm gonna uh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna tell you why I thought, in my opinion, it could have done a lot better. My main issue with this WrestleMania is the booking. Oh dear, they didn't book that particularly well. It's not to say that WrestleMania didn't have its good points. I mean, the AJ Styles Nakamura match, the Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle, Stephanie McMahon Triple H fight, in my opinion, match of the night. But I'm gonna try and go through each match and point out why I thought what was good, what was bad, da 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 da. You guys kind of get it. You know, if you guys have watched people like What Culture, you'll kind of know what's coming. Also, if you don't want to watch any spoilers and you haven't watched it yet, then this is not the time to watch this video, because I'm gonna tell you everything. Also, I'm not gonna go through the pre-show because I didn't watch it. But for the matches, the Cruiserweight title was won by Cedric Alexander, which is a good decision because he's deserved it. You had the Women's Battle Royal, which was won by Naomi, and Matt Hardy won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Again, I didn't watch them, but that's kind of cool. I mean, I saw the Raw afterwards, and Matt Hardy, as he does, he's making the most of it. But anyways, let's get into WrestleMania. The first match on the card was Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and The Miz for the IC title. Great match. I thought it was a really cool match. Did the right person win? I feel like out of all the matches, that was the closest to cool. To be quite honest, that Raw was the closest to cool still. Seth Rollins won it, curb stomping The Miz off Finn Balor, and then or was it he curb stomped Finn Balor off The Miz and then curb stomped The Miz and pinned him. I think that's how it happened. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. It's been like about a week since I watched it. Yeah, I feel like, personally, I don't know. I feel like Rollins had the most momentum, but I think Finn Balor should have won it. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like Finn Balor proving that he's getting over with the fans, which he has been doing for ages. I feel like that should have been put more into account, but I can't really complain that Seth Rollins won either, because the geezer's been working and grinding, and that gauntlet match he had on Raw where he basically beat John Cena and Roman Reigns, like, that was mad. The geezer ran train on that, so, you know, props to him. Well done for winning the IC title. Again, it's a sadness because I actually like The Miz. I like his work as a heel. So him, you know, losing, fair enough. I kind of saw that was coming. I didn't think he was going to keep his title, but it wouldn't have been a bad thing if he kept it. Especially that he kind of left the Miz Taraj and came down on his own. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match. Next match, which, oh god, right, Charlotte versus Asuka for the Smackdown Women's title. This is number one in WWE's bad booking, in my opinion, because Asuka shouldn't have lost. That's just my thing. Asuka should not have lost at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Charlotte. I love what she's doing. I love her face run since joining SmackDown. I love her heel run last year with the Raw Women's title. She's a brilliant heel. If you don't believe me, go watch some of her old videos. It's on the WWE YouTube channel. She's absolutely fantastic heel. But she shouldn't have beat Asuka. It was a great match, don't get me wrong. You know, Charlotte doing the figure six. You know, Asuka pretty much blew out a left shoulder. Was it a left shoulder, I think? Blew out a shoulder. Charlotte was basically doing the figure of eight, figure eight leg lock with basically one arm in the air because she couldn't use it, and Asuka ended up tapping out. But here's my main gripe with this. I feel like the strongest way to keep the booking, don't get me wrong, you can do Charlotte versus Ronda at WrestleMania 35, that's calm. But what you've kind of got to deal with is what's happening now and the presence. You know what I mean? The fact that Charlotte won and then Carmella cashed in the Money in the Bank and SmackDown, it just feels like they just wasted a streak. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just feels like the mystique they had, they just dashed it, and I'm not too happy with that result, if I'm quite honest. The way I saw it is if Asuka beat Charlotte on that night, and even still, you could have had Carmella cash in the Money in the Bank and beat Asuka, then the streak would have gone then, and then what you would have done is it would have been a bit of a shock factor, if you understand what I'm saying. And then you would have had, and in either way, Charlotte could have won the title back, like at SummerSlam or something. You didn't have to let her lose at that moment in time, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, good match, but bad booking. Next, I think it was the SmackDown. There was the SmackDown titles on the line: Bludgeon Brothers, Usos, and the New Day. That match was, to be quite honest, it ended quite abruptly as well. Basically, the Bludgeon Brothers just battered the New Day and the Usos, which is kind of cool in one sense because they're showing that they're a dominant tag team, which is great. That's cool. It's a bit of a shame because I would have wanted either the New Day or the Usos to win, but again, they're making a statement with the Bludgeon Brothers. They're pushing them hard in the tag team division. SmackDown's tag team division though is looking a bit. I think the tag team divisions as a whole, the only ones who are really, they're looking quite lackluster. The only ones which are kind of doing bits at NXT. Just think with SmackDown, you've got the New Day, the Usos, the Bludgeon Brothers, and that's it. I mean, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable are practically nowhere. The Hype Bros aren't together anymore. Yeah, so there's no real tag teams apart from those three, realistically. And then Raw's tag team division, well, we'll get to that one. So the next match after that, which I'm pretty sure it was the Ronda Rousey Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H fight. Now, that was the best match in the night, in my opinion. The absolute best match. That match had me dying from start to finish, honestly. From Triple H squaring off with Ronda Rousey to Kurt McMahon putting Stephanie... It's Kurt McMahon? Oh, God. To Kurt Angle putting Stephanie in the ankle lock. Oh, gosh. Yo, that match had me dying. Also, I've got to give credit where credit is due. I normally rag on to my mates about how much I hate Stephanie McMahon because of how she portrays herself as a heel. I absolutely hate it, but she has done bits in that match, and as of late she's been a way better heel than she normally is, and she's taken after that mean streak which Mr. McMahon had back in the days of the Attitude Era. But she was the star of the match for me. I think it's like her part was she knew she wasn't as gifted as a wrestler as everybody else, so any chance she could get a cheap shot in, she took it with the absolute optimum opportunity, which I've got to put my hand to it. She did bits. She really did bits, and even from when the ref wasn't looking, and Stephanie would, grab Kurt and hold him in the ropes for a little extra longer, and it would get Ronda frustrated and stuff. Like, I absolutely loved it. Ronda Rousey looked absolutely awesome in her first match. What I love about Ronda, which is quite cool, is like she's all smiles when she comes down to the ramp, but the minute she gets in that ring, she just switches, absolutely switches. I think that match had no right to go for as long as it did, but the longer it went, the better it got. That was the best match of the night, in my opinion. Props to Triple H, Ronda, Kurt Angle, Stephanie McMahon. They had a brilliant match. I think there might have been another match before it, but I'm going to go with John Cena versus The Undertaker next, which was the worst match of the... Okay, we're kind of competing with the main event here, but that was the worst match of the night. Undertaker, man. Okay, so you know what the problem is. Okay, he squashed John Cena. Cool. It's the fact that Undertaker is way past his prime now. We saw it with last year. He absolutely got battered by Roman Reigns. I think ever since Brock Lesnar beat him, he's just kind of went, and it hasn't been good matches. It hasn't. And John Cena's match against The Undertaker, I wasn't expecting much out of it because The Undertaker, like I said, he's way past his prime, but it just wasn't. It wasn't a good match, I mean, and that's without talking about that botched big boot where he basically booted Oxygen. Like, there was a good football field between the Undertaker's boot and John Cena's face, and Cena was there covering his face like he hit him. Like, that just explains the match in one whole. Undertaker ran through John Cena like a train. That was kind of that match. I felt like it was kind of like, oh hooray, look, Undertaker, he's beating people. The match didn't have that much at all, especially the weeks building up to it. Cena did as best as he could to try and build the match up, which to his credit he did brilliantly. But I don't know, even if Undertaker just appeared at WrestleMania, I'd be happy, and just chokeslam John Cena one time. That I'd be happy with that. He didn't have to go into a full match and absolutely beat the crap out of Cena, or even still, Cena could have just stayed a fan for the whole night. They didn't do a good job on that one. Next match, there was the Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn match, which was absolutely brilliant. We're kind of pushing it there. Bad because Shane McMahon at the start, obviously he had the hernia. I guess he sold that really well because I didn't know if he was, still selling it or whether he was generally hurt. But while Shane was in the ring, the match felt very slow, very dull. There wasn't, the crowd wasn't really feeling it. Even when Daniel Bryan came back in the ring, it was kind of like, Daniel Bryan had to kind of pick up the pace, and, get the people interested, which he did. And it's brilliant to see Daniel Bryan come back to the ring. He's one of my favourite wrestlers. He's one of your favourite wrestlers, I know. It's great to see him back in the ring. It's great to see him competing again. The match against AJ Styles he had in Smackdown was absolutely brilliant. Up until Shinsuke Nakamura invaded that match, which we will get to soon. But like I said, great match to a point. Great match when Daniel Bryan actually got in the match and started kicking ass. What happens to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as well? Two great wrestlers. It's a shame if they keep him off TV. Hopefully they'll get him Sami Zayn back in, but if they keep him off TV, then it will be a bit sad because he deserved the title opportunity. He deserved at least one title run. I don't even think he did get a title opportunity. Did he? Let me know in the comments below. I don't think he did. But yeah, it was a good match to a certain extent. So it was, I'm happy with that. Right. So the next match was the Raw Women's title. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. I knew Nia Jax was winning that. I mean, Alexa versus Nia. There's only really one clear winner. And the only way I thought Alexa was gonna win is if she must have had to pull out the bag of dirty tricks. Half of that was gone when Nia Jax just completely annihilated Mickie James at the beginning of the match, which I'm still not liking the pairing between those two, because it's kind of like they had their feud last year, and then all of a sudden they're the best of friends, and they just got together randomly, and we're supposed to be like, as the fans, like, okay, so they're friends now. That's not really how it works, and it's but either way, good match. I thought when Nia Jax screamed at Alexa Bliss, Alexa Bliss, she was screaming out of rage, and then Alexa Bliss was screaming out of fear. I thought that was quite funny. It was quite funny. But good win for Nia. It was a good win for Nia Jax. Personally, and this is just a thing with me, when you build storylines around, like maybe the colour of people's skin, or somebody's weight, or maybe the fact that somebody's gay or whatever else, when you build title feuds around that, I just feel like it's, for me personally, I just feel like it's dead. It's dead. Like for instance, Booker T at WrestleMania 19, the whole infamous promo with Triple H, people like you don't deserve to be champion, and look what happened to Booker T. I don't know, it's just something about those types of feuds which just kind of make me like, nah, it's kind of dead. Like you just feel like, okay, of course they're gonna win. You know what I mean? Of course they're gonna win. But either ways, it was a good match. Match quality good, and the storyline building up to it was quite good, to be fair, because Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax were actually friends, and Alexa Bliss turned on her, which was kind of cool. So that was cool. Right, so the next match after that was next match. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. The dream match kind of lived up to the hype. Now, if you don't know, if this was your first time seeing AJ and Shinsuke wrestle together, you probably would be bit disappointed, and probably thinking, well, what's all the hype about this? You know what I mean? I don't see no hype. But I will tell you this, it was still a great match. I think Shinsuke's heel turn, the low blow, I was not expecting that. That was probably the best heel turn I've seen in recent memory. Especially the fact that Shinsuke made it look like he had nothing but respect for AJ Styles, and then he got down on one knee and gave him the title, and then AJ rose his hand up and Shinsuke just went smacking the balls. Like, oh man, it was absolutely brilliant storytelling. I just can't wait to see what will happen in a few weeks to SmackDown leading up to Backlash. No doubt they will rematch again for their title, which is cool. Oh, I forgot about something. I knew I forgot a match. Jinder Mahal won the United States Championship. Oh, lordy. Alright, so let me put it to you this way. When Jinder won the WWE Championship, I was actually thrilled. I actually was one of the very few people who liked that idea. Keeping things fresh, keeping things like, oh, you never know what could happen. Instead of just being like, okay, these two contenders, of course they're gonna win. The only thing I didn't like about Jinder's push as WWE Championship is that they ruined it. Okay, he's an Indian champion. He's not even like directly Indian. He's Canadian, but with an Indian background. But they were like, okay, because this guy has Indian heritage, let's bring back the Punjabi prison match and let's have him feud with Randy Orton and let's bring the Great Khali back and let's be racist to Shinsuke Nakamura and ruin his credibility. Like, it was just a dead title run. So hopefully, giving him the mid card belt, hopefully they can push Jinder as a good heel, as a top heel, and hopefully that's the springboard that he needs. And let's do it properly this time. Although they haven't, they kind of went back to square one because Jinder's facing Randy Orton at Backlash, even though he could have faced Rusev. And that's another thing. Number 2 of WWE's bad booking. Why isn't Rusev? What's happening with Rusev? Like, the geezer's over with the fans, and you keep playing him heel. You know, Aiden English is doing absolutely a fantastic job as his kind of tag team partner / manager. But yeah, they're doing Rusev Day at the moment, and it's not good. I don't know what it is. It's like WWE when they have somebody who's naturally grown and got over with the fans, such as Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor, and Rusev. They tend to hold them back quite a lot in favour of other superstars, which I think is quite unfair, and it's not that good. But again, bad booking in that part. And I'm going to move on to the next match, which was the Raw tag team match with Braun Strowman and the 10-year-old kid. They beat Sheamus and Cesaro. Of course, Braun was going to run through the both of them. That was just, you saw that happening. This match gets a bit of a down, you know, a Simon Miller down. A bit of a Simon Miller down because, okay, well, I'll put it this way. It gets a bit of an up because it was funny, it was comical, and it was a nice thing to see, you know, making the kids' wish come true. The geezer's won the tag team titles with Braun Strowman. He's the youngest tag team champion ever. And it was kind of funny. It was a light-hearted moment to, you know, set everything, you know, set stuff up. But here's where my disappointment goes, and again, bad booking number 3. Why? Okay, you're trying to build a tag team division. You have great tag teams such as the Good Brothers, even Titus Worldwide's a decent tag team. You have the Revival. You've got, you know, you now got the Authors of Pain. You've got Sheamus and Cesaro. All these, you know, good tag teams, and one man has ran through all of them, and not just, you know, with a struggle. Like, he's run through them with ease. I mean, yes, I get it. Braun Strowman's kind of indestructible, but you know, you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, Brock, why didn't Braun? Sorry, not Brock. Why didn't Braun challenge for the IC title? Like, or even still, even if he did have a tag team partner, at least let it actually be like a WWE superstar, man, and let them have a decent run. Braun Strowman's funny enough to carry, you know, somebody with, you know, with him. So again, you know, funny, comical, light-hearted moment, but bad booking again. And the fact that they just gave the tag team titles away because, you know, Nicholas is still in school. It's bad booking on WWE's part again. Don't get me wrong, fair play to Nicholas, well done, kids. You know, it's not easy going out there, you know, 10 years old with a lot of people watching you. So I hope you had a great time, but bloody hell. And then we move on to the match. Oh, lordy. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. That was probably, I'd say that match was worse than Triple H's match at WrestleMania 32 for the WWE title. It was a match that nobody wanted to see because we'd already seen it on WrestleMania 31. They try. I don't like Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all you little girls who are like, Roman, let's go Roman. I don't like Roman Reigns. That's just simple as. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a good wrestler. There's no doubt about that. He is a fantastic wrestler. He's got a lot better on the mic since this, suffer and succotash stuff. It's just, they can't stop pushing him, and it's annoying. And there are many other superstars who are well deserving of that Universal Championship match, but they didn't get it. You know what I mean? It's just it's getting boring. I'm with the WWE crowd who were chanting boring throughout that match, and they were cheering about something else. I'm pretty sure someone was dashing a beach ball out there somewhere. It was just such a bad match. The fact that Roman just kept kicking out of finishes. Oh dearie me! It's like they were like, oh yeah, of course. Roman Reigns, we still want to push him and make him look indestructible. So let's have him kick out of like 4, 5 F5s. Like, he was kicking out of finishes that much, it got to the point where it was just boring. It was just the deadest main event. Oh god, for that god awful belt as well. Oh god, I didn't like that match at all. The fact that when Brock Lesnar pinned Roman Reigns, it shouldn't have been like, he's pinned Roman Reigns. I think what they were trying to go for was Roman weren't going down easily. Roman looked like he was going to win, and then they were like, Brock's won, and then it's like, oh, Brock Lesnar's escaped again. But really, what it was like was, Brock Lesnar won. About damn time, man. You've been clapping the geezer left, and right, bruv. What's going on? Are you just, giving the guy a little pat on the back? Nah, clap him in his forehead and making sure he stays down in it. But that was a dead main event. Dead main event. So if I was to give this rating out of 5, I'd say 3 stars. There were some good points, but the booking of WWE's superstars, as we've seen from the past couple of years now on the main roster, absolutely terrible, and that's what kind of brought this WrestleMania down, in my opinion. Which is a shame. It's a real shame, because I did have high hopes for this WrestleMania. Well, I didn't actually. Saying that, that's a bit of a lie. I don't normally expect good things out of anything. I'd like for them to surprise me and raise above my level. I set the bar quite low, but this kind of went. It went below my expectations, to be quite honest. But yeah, that's how I thought of this WrestleMania. Yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed and you want me to do some more reviews and some WWE stuff. I'm Josh. Hi. Override Gaming is my main channel. If you want me to, I'll post it. You know what? I'll post this on my main channel. And if you want me to post more stuff like this, I'll post it on my second channel, where I'll do, talk about other stuff. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye now.